You are now listening to the Beats, Brews, and Life podcast.
Beats, Brews, and Life.
Peace, everyone. Welcome to the Beats, Brews, and Life podcast. I am your host, Maurice Daniel. I have my co-host and brother in beer, Bernard, with us.
My glass is empty.
That's a problem, bro. We're going to have to fix that shit ASAP. That ain't right. That shit ain't right. And today we have two special guests. One returning. You are the first one back to the show.
Hey, man, it's an honor. It's blessed, man. Where
Yes.
I sign my name, man. Where I do my hand.
Yo, you alumni, G. Like, you alumni. Like, we got to get you, like, your own. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
a
you're
lifer.
alumni. Yeah, you're a lifer. You're a lifer. And so we have Avevo back.
Good to be here, man.
We got the homie Hellz Yea all the way from Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
What's up?
No pun intended. Hell yeah.
Nah, it's all good.
Hell yeah. Word. So, first of all, gentlemen, I don't know how your day has been going. I've been getting my ass kicked all weekend, bro. I need a beer ASAP.
No matter how good or bad, I'ma always drink a beer.
Yes.
I always drink something.
So earlier, we was talking about going light.
Yeah, let's
I don't see how you want to start light.
Let's
You
take
over
it
here
easy.
drinking
Got
this
the
moonshine. We're
moonshine,
gonna talk
man.
about later.
We definitely gonna
that's
talk
a
about
whole
that.
different. This is a whole different category. Don't even worry about this.
Word. Okay, B, if you want to
that's in
choose,
the
crack
third
one
act.
open, man. What are we drinking today, sir?
We're gonna drink this torch hop. Ooh, man, they be coming out with some weird names.
Let me test this out. You know what I'm saying?
Amy?
Amy, but it's spelled different.
Yeah, Aymi.
But it's Amy.
Yeah.
Amy. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Sometimes
So-
you can be too creative.
Yeah, sometimes. Overthinking, right?
Yeah,
Like, you're trying to be
pretty much.
different and shit, and
Yeah,
you just doing weird
yeah,
stuff.
way too much.
Right.
Yeah. What are we drinking? What type of beer is
This
it?
is a double dry hop pale ale. So
Double dry hop pale ale. I'm about
only
it.
5.4% alcohol. So we're gonna.
Okay,
it's
that sounds about right.
We're gonna
Yeah,
start light.
It's a good start. It's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all
Shout
for the
out to-
lightweights. Here we go.
Because I'm over here drinking no proof.
Oh man.
Yeah, word. Ain't no
Jesus.
limits on that.
Shout out to.
We're gonna ask the homies what's with the moonshine in a minute, but
Torch
we're
hop.
not gonna ask right now. We're gonna leave that alone.
Okay.
You wanna
pass
pass your
that.
glass
Yeah.
down? Yes, sir.
Watch your portion.
Nah, he a vet. See.
He a vet. He's been on the show
He ain't
before.
Right.
that much of a vet because he ain't leading his class.
Why is the new person at y'all table hating? That's what I want to know.
You gotta tilt the glass so the suds don't build up, brother.
No, you won't. Sir.
No, you need to.
A little bit.
That's wine
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
thinking about.
Nah, yeah. Head
is
is
wine
head
you
is
think
good
about.
in multiple aspects.
We got to save a little bit for the homies outside of the
Oh,
camera
okay.
view, right? We want to
I
make
mean,
sure
are we
that
really
everybody.
worried about that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We gonna pass it around. We gonna show love. At the end of this, we're gonna get right. Like all of us, we're good.
Group
They
effort.
might not get as right as us. Gentlemen, can I get a cheers from you all? Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers.
All right. Cheers. It's an honor to be here, man.
Absolutely.
Orange juice.
Oh, it smells lovely.
I like that.
It tastes refreshing.
Tastes like orange juice.
It tastes real clean.
Has
I
citrus
love it.
Smell.
Yo, the bitterness is super low. It's super dialed back. It's not crazy.
Right.
I'm not mad at this. This is beautiful.
About 3.9 out of 5.
Yeah, I'm not mad at this. It is a refreshing quality to it.
Yeah.
It's a pale ale, man. It's just meant to be drunk during the heat. So.
I already know what's about to go there.
Okay.
We're
So-
getting a lot of hot takes this episode.
So for everybody who's familiar with the show, y'all know what we're about to do now. But for those who are not, we are about to get into a segment called Free Game. Bernard, would you like to give the people some free game about how to pair this and what it might go with?
Man, this is real light, real citrusy, man. You could do something with some fruit aspect
Something
to
with
it.
some fruit?
Yeah, you can do like a fruit aspect to it, like a salad with some fruit in there.
Why do I feel
Feta
like
cheese, goat cheese. You
okay?
know.
Why do I feel like I would love this with like brunch or something like
See,
that?
I was just about to say that
Yeah.
you could make a beer mosa.
This would be as delicious as beer mosa for real,
Yeah.
like super
I don't know if
delicious
y'all-
beer
There's
mosa.
such thing called beer mosa.
It's
Yeah.
a such thing called beer mosa.
Beer
for
mosa.
sure.
Y'all just put me on, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
thought
get
that's
something
talking
light
about
like
food.
this, a light IPA
Yeah.
or a pale ale, and you pour it half that and half orange juice, maybe a little less than half, depending on what you want. Beer mosa.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely, I could see a beer mosa. I could definitely, for me personally, brunch all day.
Yeah.
Like that would be my wave. Like
Yeah.
some scrambled
This is-
eggs with
this is-
something like some type of omelet.
I would pair this with mowing my lawn. That's what.
Mowing your lawn. Word up.
Outside in the heat, this is perfect beer to drink. Shout
so-
out to
keep
Torch
you
Hop.
faded, but not too faded when
Right.
you pass
So
out.
so
Right.
Hellz, let me ask you, yo, are you a beer guy at all?
Nah, I mean, somewhat. It flares up my gout. I got old nigga problems.
Oh man. Oh man. Yo.
It flares up my gout. So
Okay.
you know,
enacting at the
I'm expecting.
You
me to have
expecting
some
some
pain
issues
tomorrow. Yeah.
Shit. Well, I mean,
Nah, it's all good.
We gonna make it worth it while you here, bro.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
We gonna explore some things that
I
that.
usually drink like just Heinekens or you know what I mean, like
Oh no, we going
Stellas or whatever. Like,
we're gonna try
I
to.
don't really do the IPA specialty stuff or whatever. So this is a good experience.
We're gonna try to ruin that for you today.
Nah,
man.
that's
We're
all
gonna
right.
try to change that whole entire.
We're gonna
perception
go
and mentality.
through. Definitely go through 3 different styles.
Yes,
for sure.
yes.
Today.
We're gonna get into some
all
things
right.
for
Do it.
sure.
Maybe
For
I
sure.
hate something.
Word up. So y'all don't want to go anywhere. Y'all keep it locked. When we come back, we're gonna find out what this moonshine is about. First of all, and we want to talk about this project that you two had, that you worked on together.
Absolutely.
And we're just gonna dive into all types of beer nerd shit and all types of producer nerd things. We want to know about everything. But we're gonna save
ready,
that.
man.
We're gonna
I'm
save
ready.
that.
Let's do it.
All right. So
We ain't
y'all-
giving away too many secrets though.
nah.
Nah, we can't have nobody biting the style.
Okay.
So.
All right, so y'all keep it locked. We're going to get into a 20-minute beat set from homies from all over the world, people that we met in our travels, or people who have been awesome enough to send music into the show. If you're listening and you would like to send your music into the show, you can do so at beatsbrewsandlife@gmail.com, all one word. Please label your beats, tag yourself, tell us your name, give us your IG, give us any type of way that we can credit you, because if you do, we will credit you. We will make sure everyone who follows us can follow you. Y'all keep it locked. This is Beats, Brews, and Life. Peace, everyone. Welcome back to the Beats, Brews, and Life podcast. I am still your host, Maurice Daniel. I am still kicking it with my brother and beer, Bernard.
We back.
We are still kicking it with Avevo and Hellz Yea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, yo, we had like all types of conversations like off camera. I wish
Right.
like this shit would have been rolling. It would have been amazing.
Oh man, I mean, you know.
We still might cut some of that out.
We still got something, man.
We still got something. We got something. All right, so let's crack open one more before we get to this moonshine, because I want to talk about this moonshine.
Right.
Alright, bet.
B, how you feel? You want to go big body? You want to go New
Yeah,
England
so what do
IPA?
you-
You want to go?
Now we going either sour or stout. I'm trying to recoup after I got to get my balance
Shit.
back because
Fam,
I was
fam,
Hey,
drinking.
hey,
that got a rainbow.
Hold
on
up,
it.
hold up. No. This is a 13.5.
Let's do it.
All my friends are dead.
Although it's
Yeah,
rainbow.
that's why I like it.
So we gonna crack this open. We gonna pour this in your glass. We not gonna tell you what's going on with this, and we gonna give y'all 3 shots to guess some of the ingredients that might be in this beer.
Okay, I got you.
Y'all with it?
Yeah.
I got you.
Damn it.
I'm good.
All right. So that's it's from Other Half. Not Other Half. That's from Who Farted.
Wait,
They
that's-
out of Ohio.
That's black.
Yeah.
That's that midnight oil, bruh.
Oh man,
That's that midnight oil.
Hey, remember that.
I'm scared.
Remember that name, Midnight Oil.
midnight oil.
That's a track.
Yep.
That's from out of Ohio. Hoof Hearted. You can't get that down here at all. So
Let me see that glass,
shout out
sir.
to Ohio. Oh, I already know what's in it.
Do you?
I know one thing that's in it already.
There we go,
I
B.
think I know one.
We gonna say that for our homie off camera. I'm gonna pass it to my
yeah.
guy.
Whoa.
Hey,
you
Alright,
scared?
could
you
I,
go ahead drinking moonshine. You scared of a little beer?
can I get cheers, gentlemen?
Cheers.
It smells,
Cheers.
it smells like ass. This is scary.
I smell some things. I'm gonna keep
So
quiet.
let me know when you want me to say it or start guessing.
Whenever you ready.
Start guessing. I'm sorry. Can I see that can one more time?
Oh,
Coffee,
I was wrong.
coffee bean.
Definitely coffee.
Ding, 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 ding. We got some coffee in here.
Definitely coffee. Definitely coffee. That's all I got.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's
Some
it.
vanilla extract.
We got vanilla. We got
Word,
two. Look at my man.
Hey,
Look at my
hey,
man.
yo.
Nobody's been able to get through this.
Yeah, my man got two. We got one more guess.
Fructose.
No fructose.
Syrup.
No syrup. But I will say, okay, so I'll say this. There's some hazelnut. There's some milk sugar added. So you guys, like, you got two. Bruh, you got two.
Out of three,
You're
man.
doing well. 2 out of 3
Hey,
ain't
listen,
bad.
man, first I want to thank my team. We gave 100% today. I want to thank God.
Word, word,
Without him,
word.
I'm nothing.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, so
Yo, this is actually good. It almost,
bruh, like,
it almost tastes like flat Pepsi.
sort of, like not as carbonated Pepsi, right?
Yeah.
See,
Little
that's why
hazelnut.
I like giving people beer who don't drink beer like that, because they come out with their own taste of what they think it
And
tastes
then
like.
you're not
and
wrong,
then you
yo.
think about it, and you're like,
You're absolutely right. It's
tastes
so
like
crazy
that.
now that you say it. You're absolutely right. You're 100% right. If it was
'Cause I
more
love
carbonation,
flat Pepsi.
Yeah. Oh
I
wow.
really like flat Pepsi.
Damn. So who would have thought vanilla and a hazelnut and Pepsi and coffee and Pepsi, right?
Right.
Jesus.
Right.
But you're right though. Like you're 100% right.
These guys.
Yes. Yes.
Who is
Aight.
it? Who made it?
So this is Hoof Hearted Brewing from out of
Why they got Zohar on the damn?
man. I don't. You
I
know
would
why?
say Helga.
Because at the end of the day, like I think brewing has become like beer companies have gotten into labels the same way that like people do artwork for their covers, right?
Right.
So you wanna grab attention, the same way that we dig for records. Like I dig for records, and don't
Based
get me
on
wrong,
the cover.
yo, based on the cover
Right.
and based off like what instruments are being played and what year is coming from. But at the same time, the cover's hella important. I'm not even gonna front.
Certainly.
All right, when you're digging, how important the cover's important when you're
Very
digging?
important. Even when doing YouTube and stuff like that. Like if the cover, like you looking at the thumbnail, if the cover don't look,
Yeah,
right.
you ain't
Facts.
not clicking on it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Facts.
The cover says
Everything.
Word. So you're still a digger? Like you're still digging through the crates and like buying records? Like how often do you
Nah,
get
I
out?
haven't bought records in a few years.
It's been a
but
minute?
I have records.
So you got
You know
enough
what I mean?
records to kind of like reference back to.
And my digital library is really stupid.
Digital is kind of where it's at. A
But
little bit.
but the thing is, what people don't know is that only 10% of the world's vinyl is online. So
Really?
yeah,
right.
Damn.
So
Yeah.
you always have a chance of like finding some
find
super
some-
rare like.
Exactly.
Yo.
especially down here in a place where you find producers who don't necessarily sample.
Right.
Like Pete Rock was down here in November and he went crazy. He was
Yeah.
like, yo, these records are just sitting here.
Yeah.
I don't know where he was. He won't tell me where he was.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was like, yo, these records are just sitting here. And he's just copping them. He's like, yo, it's like $1, $2 and stuff like that. But those
beautiful.
same records in New York, 20, 25,
Well, I mean, because you have a wider
$30.
pool of people who know what's going on with those records. And not to say that Atlanta doesn't know what's going on. I guess it depends on who you're talking to, right? Because like for me, I find myself like I'm in this weird in between space, right? Like I am I'm too young to be super big homie. I'm too old to be young homie at all, right? But at the same time, like I come from like this era of like digital and vinyl,
Right.
and records, right?
We're in a sweet spot.
Now I'm in the sweet spot, like so
Best
I
of both
appreciate
worlds.
both.
That's what like
Yeah.
what the millennials are, right? The
Yeah,
millennials are
I'm
kinda
35
like
years
in
old.
that
I'm 35
space.
years old. Yeah. Vivo, I remember like when we first had you on the show, like you said you just was really like kind of really getting comfortable or really diving deep into like sample base.
Absolutely.
Are you diving for records or?
Yeah, especially not to come in early with it, but with the album Moonshine, it's all samples.
Now let's talk about Moonshine for sure.
I spent the summer digging all night, going through YouTube or whatever I could find, listening to the radio, whatever playlist was on Tidal, whatever I could find, I was listening to it.
Nice, man.
And I was realizing that a lot of songs that I like from back in the day were original songs.
Yeah.
You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so there were songs already, but it let me know that there's a true art to digging and chopping samples. And that shit is not as easy as people who don't sample try to make it seem.
You know, and you know what? Like, I guess the way that I feel about digging is like there's this whole world of this undiscovered like life that happened before us, right? This whole story, like this whole narrative that you don't even know about, right?
Right.
Like that shit is so important to me, right? Like discovering something new and being blown away. I mean, it's the same way I feel about food and beer. Like it all ties in together, right? It's the same shit.
You
like,
hear a new sample, you be like, oh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the same shit, man. It's the exact same shit.
So how did y'all come together to create this new project?
Oh man, last summer. Well, we've been cool for a long time. Hellz.
He's understating it. Like he's like when I moved here 3 years ago.
Yeah.
February 3 years ago. He was the first person I met.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Like
Yeah.
out the car, walking up to
Walking up to a beat
showcase,
battle.
and I was standing in front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but we kept in contact. It was him and a few other producers.
Yeah.
You know, and when I got down here, I was in search of studios to work out of. You know what I mean? So when I finally got settled in a place, I hit up of the producers who I got cool with.
Right.
You know what
Right.
I mean? He was the only one who took advantage.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Because I was giving out specials or whatever. He was like, yo, I come through there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And after a while, it was just like, yo, he's just a in-the-house person now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, you know, and we never set out to say, hey, we're going to work on the project.
No,
Right,
we
right,
never-
right.
we never
Even
even
up to
said
making
that.
the project.
No, that
Like
wasn't
just
our
was kicking it,
intent.
like you was just kicking it like homies would. Right.
Right.
I already know how it
Absolutely.
goes. You don't need to
Now,
say no more.
now he can tell us.
Yeah.
All right, so this is where Moonshine started. So we came back to the studio one night. I don't know where we had been, but I had the urge to just watch some YouTube videos. And the one I pulled up was Bound 2 freestyle with Rick Ross.
Yes,
So you know
okay.
Kanye West.
Yes,
Right.
yes,
beat.
yes.
And the style of the beat and the flow, I was like, man, I always wanted to make a beat like this. And then, you know, me being from Jackson, Mississippi, I'm from an urban area, all trap, you know, backpack shit. But he from the home of hip hop. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So his rapping style would fit perfect over something like this. So I was like, man, if you make the beat, I'll rap over it right now. So that night we did one record, which ended up being like number 2, Speak Easy on the album. So from that point, we made about 3 more records over the course of the next 2 or 3 days. And it was like, man, I think we kind of like own
That's
this.
dope.
Right.
Yeah.
So and then we were like, you know, my traditional style is bass heavy. You know, I'm known for my hard hitting drums, but with his rapping style, he raps extremely well. But for a person that's younger, maybe from the South, we're like, man, there's a lot going on in the song. Though I can't really
Yeah.
catch what he's saying,
Right.
so they don't want to listen. But with the Moonshine album, I took all the drums out. There's only one song has drums on it.
I'm not mad at that. First of all, there's a couple of people who do this really well. I feel like Alchemist is a person who does this really well. I'm trying to think. It's a ton of. It's a
Alchemist,
ton.
My man
Of,
say,
yeah. Not your guy. Yeah.
I mean, he's dope at what he does. You know what I mean? I'm just not.
This
He
nigga's
wouldn't.
very particular.
He wouldn't be my
Right,
on my
right.
list of producers. If like somebody say, yeah, you got 10 producers you can go to, he wouldn't make that list.
Nah, so give us.
We got a question for that.
Well,
down
we
the line,
usually
too.
we usually get into that later. We'll save that for later, right? Okay, so
Hurry
so
up
you
and
guys-
finish that beer.
yeah, let's
Trying
finish
to
this
try
beer. Let's
this
crack open the door.
moonshine.
Yeah, let's
No,
crack-
I'm trying to try this moonshine since we talking about it.
Oh shit.
Niggas got
Oh,
me nervous.
I'm sorry.
So tell us about this. Tell us about this moonshine, man. How
All
did
right.
this come about,
All right,
man?
So basically, once we
5
got
minutes.
through with the album, we was like at 7 minutes, and then 7 minutes, 7 songs. So we was like, man, we kind of want to make this an album. I was like, so what would we name it? We left for like a day or two. I came back. I said, hey man, what does New York and Mississippi have in common? Off the top of your head, you say not a damn thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at all the movies, let's look at Life. Let's look at the movie Lawless. Let's look at Boardwalk Empire. They all have New York and Mississippi connected through the Prohibition, through Moonshine.
Right.
So everything about Moonshine in general, just so happened to be what this project is. It's 100% illegal. 100%. We ain't clear a damn thing.
I'm not even. I love it. I love it. Hell yeah, I love it. Yo. I love it.
It's extremely raw. It's strong. You have to have a certain palate to digest the album. So when we were coming up with ways to put the album out, a long time ago, I used to just mix drinks. I used to be in vodka. Like on the last episode I was on, I was telling you I used to really be into it. So I had made a drink back then called a V12. So I was like, well, fuck it. Let's just make another V12. We're going to put it in this. He came up with his, the Barmasis, and we just put these 2 flavors in our cans, put the barcode on top, and that's why we call it a liquid album. So you buy the album, $10, you scan the top, start playing it, start drinking. The album makes more sense.
Holy shit, yo, that's kind of ill, yo. That's
dope.
crazy.
So,
okay.
Speaking of the flavors, what are the 2 flavors of moonshine that we have right here?
So we got iced tea, sweet tea. This is mine, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? We gotta keep, we gotta keep
yeah.
You know, and then he got the Barmasis. You know what
lemonade.
I'm saying? Yeah, lemonade.
We can't tell you what's in it.
Yeah, it's well, I will say it's not made with actual moonshine. There is liquor in it, but it's not actual moonshine.
It's obscure liquor. It's liquor that people ain't gonna be like.
We're not mad at. We gonna get into it.
Once again, it's bootleg.
Yeah. And
we
made
bootleg,
these ourselves.
bootleg.
Yeah, we made it ourselves. We mixed it. We put it in the jars, labeled them all ourselves. And man, I just had a blast doing it all. You feel me? Coming up with an album, and like I said, you were saying earlier, it was like really organic.
Yeah.
So none of this was forced at all.
Okay. All right. So the interesting thing before we pour up this moonshine, the most interesting thing about like I feel like there's like these like black culture in general. There's all these subcultures. You have like MCs and producers, and like that shit is religious. Tattoos.
You know what I mean? All that
but like
subculture.
all that shit is religious though, right? Like this beer shit, it's the same shit, bro. Like there's a whole entire black beer culture. Like it's real, bro. Like yeah, it's real, yo. Like it's 1,000% real. Like there's like like Crown and Hops, black people love beer. Like it's a whole movement, bro. Like it's a
Crown and
whole
Hops,
movement,
black people
bro.
love beer.
Oh, that's what you meant by mobbing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Atlanta Beer Gang. That's my group that I'm with, and that's who I was out with yesterday.
Any chicks?
The black women.
There's a
pull
lot
up.
of black women in
Black women pull up for sure, bro. Like yeah, for sure.
Shoot, speaking of that,
I don't want to go to a sausage party.
Nah, it's a lot of black women that pull up. Like,
Thursday at 7. So Reformation Brewing, they just opened a new location out in Cobb County.
You going?
Yeah, because they're doing this thing. They're doing this thing. So Rashawn Ali, I don't know if y'all know Rashawn Ali.
Sound familiar.
Radio host out here for a long time.
I know if I saw it.
Yeah. So she partnered with this lady. She run Atlanta Beer Boutique, and they released a collaboration beer that's coming out Thursday. So
Okay.
So that's all gonna be there. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Thursday, 7 o'clock, Cobb County. Okay.
Listen, what's up?
Hey, man, we in there.
Yeah, what's up?
let's crack this moonshine.
Let's crack this moonshine. What's going on?
man,
Tell us
I
what
love
we got
to.
going on, yo.
All right, so Hell's gonna get you with on that side. I'm gonna get you over here. This
So
right
what
here.
we gonna start with? We're gonna start with the V12.
Yeah, let's start with the V12. This is my flavor, V12 with the moonshine. My
Okay.
bad. I got everything.
Why
twisted
am I
down,
nervous,
you know?
man?
I don't know.
Don't be nervous at all, dude.
Never be nervous about
I'm ready.
Word. Okay.
I be drinking.
Be nervous later.
B? Can you reach me, sir? That you know what that is right there? That right there is for
This is my bottle share glass.
Scotch. Actually, I mean, but a lot of those glasses are really good for like Scotch
Yeah.
tasting. Like yeah, it's a whole
I
thing.
usually
It's a
drink
whole
Scotch
wave.
out of glass like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
we
a whole
got
wave.
Cheers too.
Cheers, gentlemen.
my
Cheers,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
yeah, man. I never want to miss a cheer, man. Cheers.
Salud, salud, salud.
Salud. I already know what you're gonna say.
Oh, that's smooth, bro.
It smells. It tastes like sweet tea.
Exactly.
Bruh.
Exactly.
Like, what is going on, bro?
You
Like,
keep thinking that.
wow. Okay. So be careful. In other
Yes.
words.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, ironically, the ingredients that we use, the way they taste and the effect that they have is just like our personalities.
Right.
Okay.
They're both strong, but mine is a lot smoother with the palate on top. His out the gate, it's like
Like,
out the gate.
uppercut,
Yeah,
right
you-
hook.
yeah,
Like,
you open
yeah.
it, oh my god!
Let me see how I
New
can
York
fuck you
rude
up.
ass attitude.
Yeah.
But like once you get to know it, it's alright.
This is
that's
good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
good.
fucking good, yo.
I'm a
That's
fan.
the V12, man.
Bro, this
This
tastes
is
just
good.
like sweet tea. Yo, all I
know,
need is a
man.
lemon and a little bit of ice, bro.
This tastes better than McDonald's sweet tea.
Yo, the thing is, the funny shit is that like at the album release party, people was just drinking it, like
Yeah.
gulping it, and like The next day they was like, yo.
I tried like, hey,
And we tried to tell everybody.
but
like,
we wanted
yo,
people to feel
take
that
it
way.
easy.
Yeah. It just goes good with the album, man. The better you feel, the more chill you feel, the more you enjoy the album more.
Yeah,
Okay.
I like this.
You know,
Because
what-
the sound that we call it float music.
Float music. I like that.
the beat never
okay.
drop.
Yeah.
It just float.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
I'm floating over the beats. The beats is floating. Everything
Yeah.
just feels like kind of like this kind of vibe. You know what I mean?
Right.
So of course, drinking kind of relieves your inhibitions. You know what I mean? So you feel more relaxed. Your muscles are at ease and all
Right,
that. So
right,
you know
right.
what I mean?
Facts.
Like you could just, it's that album where you could just be like, oh, okay. It ain't for the clubs, you know what I mean? Don't look for no club music
Right.
or whatever case. Don't look for no turned up music. Like it's really on some old drive home. You know what I mean? Because the album is 31 minutes.
Yeah, something
You know
like
what I
that.
mean? So
That's-
everybody's average
I
drive
like
is
that
about 30
length.
minutes.
Like, yeah, I like that
You know what I
length.
mean?
Like, word.
So
Man, y'all put
it's
a lot of
just
technical.
ride. Yeah,
aspects
but no,
to this
not on
album.
purpose.
no,
Not on
that's the
purpose.
funny shit. Like this shit is none of this is like
Playing, it was just
none
like
of this plan. Everything just so happens on down to the release date, because the release date, January 17th, is the day that the Prohibition era started.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I didn't know that until that day.
Until you
Like I researched
right.
it because I was like, "Yo, what happened on January 17th?"
Right.
Because we already knew we was in the 100-year anniversary of the Prohibition era because
Right.
it was 2020. You know what I mean?
Right.
1920. You know, so what happened to the date?
Right.
And I was like, it was the day that.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah,
And
it
we
was
out
nuts.
here selling hooch in the cooler in 2020.
In 2020.
Same way.
I'm not even mad. Yo. I'm
$10
not
a
even
pop.
mad.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Word. So like as a so did you Hellz Yea, this is for you. Did you start off as an MC or as a producer?
Started off as an MC.
Same.
I started MCing when I was 9.
Same, bro. Like I wrote the craziest shit when I was 10. I recorded it. All right, so you like, all right, a lot of these young cats ain't gonna know, right?
Right.
And this is a whole different thing.
I ain't for young cats. I'll tell you
Okay.
that right now.
I'm
So
gonna get
right.
you right here ready.
I had all right, so I had my little boom box. I had my mom's big stereo.
Right.
I took the little boom box. I put it up to the speaker of the little I put the little boom box up to the speaker of the big joint.
Right.
And I rhymed my first rhyme over So Functified. I was 10.
Oh,
right?
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I remember it, bro. Like I was talking about like Black Power
Wait, how old you
Rangers
say
and
you
shit.
was?
I'm 35.
You said so functified, like.
Yeah, like bro, I was 10 years old. It was my first rhyme.
Okay.
Was the first rhyme I recorded. I
Bet,
was so
bet,
proud.
bet.
I thought I was the shit,
Yeah,
bro. Like I
like,
was
you
lit.
was the shit.
Like I was
shit.
lit, bro. Like
Yeah,
I was
engineer.
lit.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I was lit, bro. Like I was lit. And then
You
like
owned your
production.
masters. You kind of
So
didn't know it yet.
So we know a little bit about Avevo. We're gonna get back into
Nah,
that
go
still.
ahead.
Like tell me, Hellz, like what was your first experience like producing something? Like what was it on? Like what type of equipment did you use?
Oddly enough, I used to work with DR Period, who brought out MOP and Smooth the Hustler.
What the fuck? Is this that strong, yo? Like really?
Yeah.
Yo, what is that, yo? Like what just happened, yo?
Yeah,
exactly.
What just happened? Sorry.
Yeah,
I want to hear the story.
No.
You just turned me up a little level though, right? And then we got to get into this lemonade one too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I used to stay at the studio with DR Period, and he would leave a room sometimes. He had an MPC 62.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So he leave a room, the equipment be on.
And you fuck around a little bit.
Around a little
Yeah.
bit, you know what I mean? But what I really started producing was on
Thank you,
a
brother.
Triton and an MPC 2000 XL.
So like a train, like a keyboard.
Yeah, the Triton
Okay,
keyboard. Yeah. This is before like the Roland X Phantom came out and all that
Yeah.
stuff. Like the Triton was the shit. Like that was the Pharrell machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what I produced these two cats. You know what I mean? Who was two artists, and they took my first 2 beats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So from there, like I kind of took a break from MCing and just got straight into producer mode.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what helped me to hone my craft from producing and be able to do both at the same time.
Let's raise another one to the fact
sir.
Hold on. Let me get up in there.
Okay.
Let me get up in there.
we gotta
Oh,
raise
okay.
we gotta raise one to Hellz Yea's first piece of production.
All right.
Salud.
All right.
Peace,
Little
Brews, and
hair.
Life. First,
I might want to sniff that first.
Oh, that smells a little stronger. Smells a little
But
stronger.
it tastes.
this
it
shit smell like
tastes-
tequila.
But it's just to scare you off though. But like really drinking it,
It's easy. That's too
Way-
easy, bro.
yeah.
That's too easy.
Yeah.
You see,
Word,
y'all already
yeah.
taste where we going with this. you
Yeah,
feel?
yeah.
And the fact that they both complement each other, like,
Yo,
Yeah.
if you mix them together, then
Yeah, I
you
was about
have
to say,
a,
y'all done
you got an Arnold Palmer.
No,
yo, like
no.
you mix it together. It's
You mix
called
it- death.
nap.
word.
Yeah, nah, you don't want to mix those. You don't want to mix those together.
Nah, but I did drink 2 of each one night, and I felt really good. And I didn't have a hangover, or nothing like that. But it was
nice.
and we didn't do that on purpose. Like it just happened that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got the, you start producing. How young were you when you start producing? Like
I was about 18. 19,
I started
around
late,
the time.
bro. Like I
Yeah.
started late. I started
Yeah.
super late.
I didn't have the passion for producing at first until I was in the studio. Like I was there when he made the beat for Broken Language.
That shit, that'll fuck you up forever. How do you get right after
Right.
that? You have
I was
choice.
there pretty much for the whole Smoother Hustler album.
Holy shit.
I was there. We was in the driveway. Smooth and Trigger had an ice cream in one hand and a blunt in the other hand, and they was doing the Broken Language style.
Yeah.
You know what I
Holy
mean? Like
shit.
this was before they even recorded it, and like they used to freestyle with each other because they're actual brothers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they used to freestyle doing that style, and it just became what it was. So I'm like, I was there for
You
like
saw too
some
much.
history.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like
what's
You
up.
saw too much.
Yeah.
Too soon.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not mad at it. I love it, bro. That's
Exactly.
beautiful, yo. That's
Exactly.
beautiful. All right, so we do, you started talking about like if you did have 10 producers. We're not going to get into 10 producers. Like that's too big of a number. But let's talk about your Mount Rushmore of producers, and if you do have a Mount Rushmore, who goes on there? And first of all, I know you're from New York, so this might not exactly we're excluding Dilla. We're taking Dilla out. Dilla has a mountain over somewhere by itself.
Hey, y'all, people don't like my opinion about Dilla.
Fair
but,
enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Nigga's a hater, man.
It's personal preference.
I never even heard your preference, and I know it's hate.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us. Give us like 4 producers on your Mount Rushmore of producers of all time.
It's gonna be Dre, Quick, DJ Quick.
Ooh.
I think that's the first. DJ Quick is first.
Nah, we had Quick one time before. I think maybe possibly.
Bink,
That's a first for sure.
and shit. Damn, that fourth spot.
Don't give it to Premier, boy.
Nah. I would that fourth spot would go to Pete Rock. You know what I
Pete
mean?
Rock's that guy.
Yeah.
You're super. What's the right word? I don't want to say purist.
No, that's the
Yeah,
right
that's
word.
the right word.
Is that the right word?
Yeah. Like I'm notoriously a purist. Like
I can't
don't,
be
and
mad
I don't make
at
no
it at
apologies
all.
about it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like I like what I like. I believe in what hip hop, the foundation of what it is and what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I fight to maintain that.
Okay,
Period.
okay.
You know what I mean? So if that's what people want to consider a purist, then fine.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So we know about Avevo. But like I'm gonna ask everybody here at the table a question because I think that all of this like is really, it kind of pertains to like a lot of the things that we're talking about anyway, right? So as a purist and as somebody who's like growing in this newer era of like what's happening now, is there anything that you gravitate towards now? Like what are you listening to? Is there anything newer that you're listening to, and like why or why not?
The funny thing is that I actually listen to pretty much everything. I give everything at least one listen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like,
Is there
because
any new things that you like?
The funny shit is like the Little Baby and Gunna album, that first album. I like that shit. That shit was hard.
Okay.
I listened to it one time.
Yeah.
I'm good.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Listen to a whole trap album, his first trap album he ever listened to.
Word.
Yeah, you know what I mean. But I do. You know, I'm more on
feel
the
it now.
Kendricks. Oh yeah.
Hey, fuck what you talking about.
What
I
is
feel
this?
it.
What is this voodoo in a glass, man? What is this voodoo in a glass?
Moonshine out now.
bro.
Moonshine.
Yeah. Voodoo in a
Yeah.
glass is what I'm gonna call it.
Nah, but I've learned to like it for what it is.
Okay.
I can't expect a little Uzi Vert to be a Tupac.
No.
Right.
I can't expect a Little Baby to be a Biggie. You know what I mean? Like I can't expect that from
Right.
And also at the same time, I blame my generation for not schooling that generation.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So like they have a right to be the way they are.
Right.
Towards my generation.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I've come to that understanding. Like, okay, now it's time to be like, all right, let me just listen to it for what it is.
All right, so let me so just to be a little bit of devil's advocate, because I wrote an article a really long time about this very like sort of idea, and like because when the whole trap wave came around, I was super like against it at first, right? I wasn't with it. I think like what happened to me like as I became older and like I tried to be more graceful about like my youngins is like I started looking at these youngins who like I didn't really fuck with, like, yo, this is my nephew.
Right.
Yeah. This is my little cousin. Yeah. And like these are our little cousins and our nephews. Right. So it kind of sucks sometimes, but at the end of the day, I think as elder statesmen who have to gracefully kind of like move with like our culture, like we have to treat these youngins like they are nephews, and they are like and our nieces and nephews and nieces and little cousins. We got to treat them like they are youngins.
We got to act as therapists for them too, because a lot of them are what 80s babies.
Yeah.
Right.
What was happening in the 80s? Crack.
The shit that y'all was
about to
keeping
say. Everybody was doing blow.
Y'all fault.
That was the 80s is the crack era.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we can't ignore the fact that a lot of these kids might be crack babies.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be funny or nothing.
Right.
That's just real.
That's crack baby.
That's just real. You know what I mean? So it's like almost like, yeah, we had to be therapists because some of them probably didn't grow up with parents.
Right.
Yeah.
And,
You know what I mean? So
like my whole thing is a lot of it is fun music. Like, of course you got the trap music and stuff like that, but a lot of it is just people having fun, man. You can't knock people for having fun. Like,
Right.
you know, it's honest. I just get upset at when it should be its own separate genre. You know what I mean? Don't
Definitely
classify it as hip hop.
Definitely is.
Because hip hop is already defined.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just like when Lil Nas X he try to make a country record. They're like, no,
Right.
that ain't country.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For whatever their reasons are.
Right.
I don't care what their reasons are.
Right.
But they protected their genre.
Right.
Which I disagree with, because like that, that's a whole nother conversation.
True.
Because sorry. We like I want to keep it. I definitely want to ask, like, tell me like currently, Avevo, like what are some things that have been like changing and like just moving your world like musically? Like what are you really rocking with?
What am I listening to right now?
Moonshine, January 17th.
Facts.
Facts. I listen to that till I'm blue in the face. But right now, what am I listening to right now? I listen to my mind is never on one thing at a time. Like I used to try and control it, but now like it's just random.
Yeah.
So I may listen to some new shit that just came out, like the new Yo Gotti, the new Money Bag, but I'm also like waiting for that new Disclosure, that new K-Tronada came out, that Bubba came out.
Disclosure.
Facts.
Yeah, see, I'm like all over the place.
I don't even know who they are.
Yeah, see you see what I'm saying? But that's why I can
burn some sticks and drink some moonshine and listen to K-Tronada one day. It'll be a good day.
Exactly. But that's why I can work with artists that are purists and trap artists, or artists who are in something completely different, like Disclosure, or like the artist that K-Tronada worked with. But right now, like specifically, I listen to a lot of old music, man. Like I listen to like Isley Brothers and shit still. Like it just came out.
Not mad. That shit is, I mean, it's never gonna go anywhere. It's always right.
And believe it or not, it puts stuff in my head. My head stores it. So when I'm making music, all of a sudden the shit I heard come out somewhere in the music, which will help me sample and chop to where I can make it to where it's a full beat.
And then that music was so rich.
It was.
You know what I mean? It was
rich.
so much soul in these records that almost you felt like you was in the studio with them.
Facts, man.
You know what I mean? Like you could just imagine Johnny on the bass.
Yo.
Yeah, but see, there was coke involved. That's the only thing in my head. Like, how do you make this music sober? Is it possible? Like, how do you make Atlantis sober? Is it possible? I don't think so.
Maybe not,
no,
bro.
Ron Isley was in there.
Yo.
Listen, man, don't we talk about?
Oh no, they're my people. You know?
So what was it? It was something I was watching. I watch a lot of chef shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of chef shows. And it was just talking about how like it's one thing to have like the talent. It's another thing to have the heart and there's another thing that had a passion. And like that's some shit that like you think somebody was mentioning like Kobe Bryant. It's like, yo, he had all three. He had the work ethic, he had the passion, he had the talent, he had like, so that's like, I think that the issue now with music is that like you have people who just want to like get on.
Right.
That's the issue. It's
Or
not
even some
like
of
the
them
issue
have
is
the
not
passion, but not necessarily the skill set.
right.
But it's
right.
based more. It's not based off a skill set anymore. I don't think it's based off of, do I understand your emotion?
Right.
Do I understand what you're trying to express? And earlier, based off what he said, I listen to music as art. So
Yeah.
I don't listen to it
Right.
from my standards. I just listen to it for
Right.
what did you mean for me to hear?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I want it like with Moonshine. I want you to hear with the Moonshine while you drinking and stuff like that, with some lights going on, dim and shit. How did you want me to hear this trap album or whatever? You know, do I need to be smoking? Do I need to be driving with my seat lit all the way back? What?
So did you produce the whole entire project?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Okay.
All
Did you
my
contribute
albums,
at all?
all my albums have been produced by one producer.
Okay, but you produce yourself, and it's like a whole different thing that you do for.
Yeah, I don't like producer. It's too easy for me.
Right.
Like I feel like I'm that much of a skilled MC that I can do.
man, this the
anything.
best you ever sounded over my shit. Let's keep it 100 on these people podcasts, man.
Yeah.
Every time he made me sound so good, man.
So,
Tell him.
All right. So.
Tell him, man.
I mixed the album, by the way. Just
mixed the album.
Just be clear on that. I mixed the album.
No, tell the
so
truth.
of course I'm gonna sound.
Tell the
Word.
truth. Before you mix it, like, man, the frequencies.
No, yo, God, the funny shit is, right? I did ask him. I was like, yo, dude, like, are you purposely fucking with the frequencies so that my voice cuts through? And he's like, nah, I'm just making it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but sometimes things happen just second nature or just by intuition. It's like he knows what I'm gonna sound good on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there was some nights he was sitting in the chair for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
Trying to find the same.
I'm not
Right.
mad. I love that. That's
know what I
beautiful.
mean?
That's beautiful. It's a thing that like not a lot of like I'm a painful guy. I kind of enjoy like it's like a sadomasochism thing.
Yeah.
Like I enjoy the pain of sitting in this chair until the shit is right. Like I'm okay with that. Right.
We
Okay.
just trying to find some shit.
So there's a couple important questions. Vivo, we asked you this question already. It's an important question that we ask every producer that comes to the show.
Okay.
Hellz Yea.
Yes, sir.
Drums first or nah?
Nah.
Never.
Not never.
But just
But
in general.
I prefer.
You like to
finding-
find your frequency, your sample,
Yeah.
and your melody and all of that.
Like
stuff.
98%.
98% of the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I'm definitely, what may happen is I may lay down some skeleton drums.
Yeah.
Just to get a groove,
Right.
maybe.
And
You know
then
what I mean?
completely change those all over again after.
Yeah,
right.
change the
So
whole
I
thing.
got you.
But mainly I'm sample first.
Right. I guess the only time I really feel like it's appropriate is like when I can't like. So sometimes I'll chop up something that I thought was so beautiful, and then I'll get into it, and it's not as beautiful as I thought.
Right.
I mean, it's still beautiful. I just have it. I can't find some like the
That's
arrangement
natural.
of it. Right. So then I'll put the drums first. Like that's the only like it's really like the only case that I do it. Or sometimes like I do tempo chase. I'm not even gonna lie. Like there are tempos that I think that are like they create a certain magic.
A golden.
Like I love 87.
That's a golden. That's a
That's
classic
yours, ain't it?
hip hop
85
tempo.
through
95?
Yeah.
I love 87.
Well, 87 through 95.
Like
that's
why
my
do
zone.
I like I don't know why I love it so much, but I do. Like
That's a
it's just
perfect
something
middle
I
point
love.
for you.
Yeah.
It's a bop right there.
Yeah.
It's like-
Right. So like I'll purposely chase 87 and I'll just like set my drums and then like I'll force my sample to fit in within 87. It just depends, man. Just
Right.
depends.
Yeah. Like I do the same thing, at times where if the sample isn't falling right, then sometimes I need the drums to keep me locked in.
Okay.
You know
okay.
what I mean? That's if I quantize my drums. Like sometimes I don't quantize my drums.
All right. So we got a few more questions, not many more questions. Like a handful of questions. One question that we started asking people on the show was like, let's say that
Y'all
you
taking
guys,
your time. Oh, he finished his bomb.
Yeah.
Man,
No,
I'm a drinker. I'm a drinker. I'm over here vibing now. I'm over here taking notes. Yeah, I'm over here taking. I might have to unbutton my top button though.
I was already doing the most before this started. Me and my lady, we
okay.
went and had a hot toddy. I had a beer. I ate. Like
Hey,
I
man,
was,
we
I
got
was
some
doing a
more
lot.
for y'all.
We'll do all of that. We'll do all of that. So one of the questions we started asking people was about like let's say you're trapped on a desert island, and you can only pick 3 albums, and you can only pick 1 alcoholic beverage and 1 beer. What do you
I got a
bringing
chick
with you?
with me? It was just me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
We'll give
All
you
right.
that.
Yeah, bet.
We can do that.
Hey, man, you starting to sound real toxic
And
on
it-
this podcast.
And if
Is
you
it ladies there? Is it chicks there?
if I didn't know any
ride.
better, I would mix them
My
together
thing is
without
just
thinking
like,
about it, bro.
I just
Like,
I don't drink a lot of sweet tea, so that's why I'm like lemonade. Like
No, that
coming
sound
from
good,
up north, man, we drink hot tea. We don't drink sweet tea.
Hot tea.
Yeah, hell
Fuck
yeah.
is that?
word.
This all of a sudden the convo done got so good. You don't know
Yeah,
how we start talking about that. Look, is there any chicks there or not? That's what this shit is.
I'm about to take that shit with me on a date.
And like you said, that's the personality too, right? That's the personalities
That's
too,
exactly
right?
what I'm about to take the tea. I'm gonna go on a date and take the tea with me. Like, yeah,
Word.
let's
Man,
let's drink this.
Yeah.
That's a good combo.
Man, you gonna start sounding like Billy D in a minute.
Or Bill
My
Cosby.
Barry White.
Oh
boy.
no! Oh no!
Getting sleepy.
Camille,
I'm out.
Listen to the Moonshine
oh
album.
man, yo,
You getting sleepy?
oh man,
Take you to the
god damn, yo. All right, so the question is, so you're stuck on a desert island. You've got your choice of 3 albums. You've got your choice of whatever spirit you want, and you've got your choice of whatever beer you want.
And yes, you do have a chick.
Yes,
Hey,
there will
listen,
be a woman with
That makes life easier, B.
Okay. What albums are you bringing first of all? What 3 albums?
The Chronic, probably 2001.
Okay.
Chronic 2001. Paid in Full.
Eric B and Rakim?
Yeah.
My guy.
And then damn, 3
Don't call it a comeback.
Nah, I gotta go. I probably go with the Jay-Z Blueprint. Blueprint.
Okay.
Yeah.
First?
The first Blueprint. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
My guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Vivo, same question. I don't think we asked you that.
Wait. What spirit are you bringing?
Oh
with you?
yeah.
Are you like what? Like so? Like you bringing cognac?
I'm a vodka drinker.
You're a vodka drinker.
Yes.
What brand of vodka are you bringing?
Tito's.
Tito's. And what beer are you bringing with you, sir?
That coffee.
That coffee, yeah. That coffee kind of hit.
Okay, so the first one, the Hoof Hearted. That's what it was. Hoof
Okay,
Hearted.
Hoof Hearted. Okay.
Avevo, 3 albums.
Shit. Even while he was saying, I was like, I don't even know, man. All right, so give me D'Angelo Voodoo.
Yes, bro. Thank you so much. Oh wow.
Give me Last Train to Paris.
Okay.
What?
These mean a lot to me, man. I didn't say nothing to you when you started talking about Eric B and Rakim.
Last Train to Paris?
Yes, you don't understand it.
That's that Diddy joint, right?
Yeah.
That Diddy joint was rocking. Come on, man.
Shit.
All right.
Fucking purists, man. You can't tell them nothing. Fruity Loop. But I'm saying, what's the third one? I said Last Train to Paris, Voodoo. I'm trying to think of a good. I just put. I take Victory Lap. I need something like.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Motivating
Okay.
and strong.
Yeah.
Those 3 will have me right. I'm taking Martell, Blue Swift as my spirit specifically, and then my beer I'll take a Stella.
Stella.
Yeah.
Bernard.
Man,
We do this every week.
I know.
We're just gonna
It
have to
changes
switch it
every
up.
week.
We're gonna have to switch it
It
up every
changes
week.
every week,
You
though.
tell me, sir. What do you?
I'm
what do
still
you
upset
bring?
he said Last Train to Paris. Like,
man,
not-
that Diddy
I'm
joint
not
was
in it.
No.
I feel like I don't know this dude.
No,
I'm
there
not
were
in
2.
that.
Production-wise, there were 2 albums that kind of changed things for me. It was 808 and Heartbreaks and Last Train to Paris.
Bruh, 808.
Like those 2 things, I had never heard production like that before.
Yeah.
And if you had heard my early production, you would know that. But I'm you fuck with me because of those 2 albums. You just don't know it. Without them 2 albums,
B, what do you
I'm
bring?
probably all
Man?
trap
Man.
producers.
Now that I think about it, and then 808s was mentioned, it'd be the first 3 Kanye albums.
First 3 Kanye albums.
That's too
All
much
3.
Kanye.
Hey man, I will rock with Kanye.
I feel you.
I can rock with you on the Champion album. The Champion album, definitely.
I will rock with. I even listened to the crazy shit. The only thing I didn't listen to was the gospel album because I ain't with that
Jesus
shit.
King, nah, I ain't with that.
All right, I'll tell you this. So I think that I'm bringing Jay-Z Volume 3. Just because like NYMP and like there's been a murder. I think
That
there's
was
been
a
a
dark
murder.
album for him.
I love that album.
Yeah, that was
like
a dark
there's been a
album for
murder
him.
is like one of the hardest joints
Yeah.
that Jay-Z's ever
Hell
made.
yeah.
Nobody talks about this.
Hell
I love
yeah.
it. It's amazing. I think we're also gonna go with damn it, yo. We're gonna go like super throwback, and we're probably gonna go Marvin Gaye, "Hear My Dear," which is one of my favorite Marvin Gaye joints.
People don't know the
This is
story about
episode.
that one.
Hey,
Yeah, but go
yo,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait till you get finished.
And then we're probably gonna go George Benson. What's it called? It's called Bad King Good. Is it called Bad King
sampled
Good?
them a lot.
I went through a whole George Benson phase.
Oh, okay.
I'm a George Benson guy.
Okay.
We talking pre-singing George Benson with the guitar. That's what
Gotcha.
we're talking about, right?
Gotcha.
We're gonna bring those. I'm gonna bring a bottle of rye whiskey. What rye? I'm bringing Rendezvous, High West Rendezvous rye whiskey, and I'm bringing
Oh, I forgot about the spirits.
yes, and I'm bringing Saison Dupont. Is what I'm bringing. That's the beer.
Go
that
wrong
we're
with that.
Spirits in your beer.
wins.
Shit. My
Yes.
spirit would probably be Old Overholt. Still rye
Overholt.
whiskey.
Not
Old
bad.
Overholt.
Rye whiskey. Yes, sir.
And my beer, shit, that's hard. I drink
That's
a lot
it.
of
Yeah,
beer.
You had too
Me,
many
I
to
drink
choose.
a lot of
You got way too many.
Okay.
Like,
B, you wanna ask the gentleman the most important question of all.
yes. Where can everybody find y'all at?
Man, all social media platforms, AVEVO. AVEVO, man. Just type it in, you'll find me.
In your girl's bedroom.
Okay.
Did that sound like that?
That sounded that sounded a little bit creepy.
Hey,
That
that's the
sound-
V12 kicking in. That's the V12
Uh-oh.
DT.
Nah,
Because I'm about to get on some apps and go stupid tonight.
Word.
Nah, you can find me everywhere. Hellz Yea, HELLZYEA_ODE. I keep it straight like that across the board. You know, website One Dynasty, ENT.com, hiphopprodigies.com, which is another hip hop community that I'm part of. Really, really dope energy over there. So you know, I'm kind
doubt.
yeah. That's where I'm at.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. All right. So
Besides your girl's bedroom.
all right. So I will venture to say that we had some successful pours. We also had some
You need to
successful.
find some love, man.
Jesus.
I'm done with love.
When I tell you this nigga's a lost cause, let him be, fam. Let him be.
God damn, man. God damn. All right, so y'all don't want to go anywhere. Y'all gonna want to keep it locked. We are about to get into this live beat set with the homie Hellz Yea and with the Avevo. Keep it locked. This is Beats, Brews, and Life.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Beats, Brews, and Life.